Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of Recreating Jeffrey Shawnee's Tone. This time we're not going to be talking about one of the songs off the studio album, but we're going to be talking about his live tone, specifically from the Off the Map show during the Californication tour. Now, a couple things I need to get out of the way. Let's talk about his guitar setup. At this point in time, John had a Telecaster, a Gretsch White Falcon, his 1962 Strat, and his 1955 Strat. And during this tour, he had a Marshall Major, a Silver Jubilee, and a dual Fender Showman that he would only use with the Falcon. And I was able to pinpoint his pedal board layout for his signal path. Starting from the guitar, you're going to go into a Boss DS2, an Electro Harmonics, Black Russian, Big Muff, into an MXR Phase 90, into a Black WH10, into the CE1, going split into the Silver Jubilee and the Marshall Major. And those amps are going to be going into JCM 900 cabs, mic'd with presumably SM57s. And I can tell this was the right pedal board layout because I was able to get a still frame where you can see between John's legs a Black WH10 and off to the right the MXR Phase 90. Unfortunately, I do not have a Black Russian Big Muff, but I do have the Boss FZ-3, and that's just what's going to have to do for now. And on the far right, you have a single Boss DS1 that was used for the solos with the Gretsch Falcon for the songs Californication and Other Side that would be hooked up to the Fender Showman. Now, this is where it gets fun for me. I was on a long hunt to find the exact mixing console that was used for those live shows. And luckily for us, the front of house mixing engineer, Dave Rat, has a YouTube channel where he talks about his time with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, going back to the days when they were playing in garages up until the late 2010s while playing in stadiums. And he talks about his signal chain going everything from microphones, preamps, compressors, the whole thing. So those microphones, the SM57s, are going to be going into a Midas Heritage 3000, and that audio signal for the guitars are going to be compressed with DPR 404 compressors into a stereo mix bus back into the front of house speakers. Now the Midas Heritage 3000 has what's called an XL4 preamp for all of their channels, and I happen to have a stereo pair of XL4 preamps with EQ in a single space rack unit that has the same preamp as that mixing console. And there's actually a reverb listing for 2 original Midas channel strips that came off of a Heritage 3000 console that you can go buy right now. A little overpriced in my opinion, but that's pretty cool that somebody actually found a way to power this thing and have it useful for a stereo pair of preamps. And if you want to learn a little bit more about front of house engineering, Dave Rett has a lot of videos on his own YouTube channel again, going through his preferred methods on how to handle situations. He goes through how he places the mics in a mix with the Chili Peppers exclusively. And I highly recommend watching those videos if you want to get a little bit more information about the gear he uses as a mixing engineer. So luckily my 2 preamps have their own built-in insert channels, and I'll be using the DPR 404 compressors as inserts. I was able to copy off Dave Rett's settings for the compressor to just get as close as possible to John's original tone through the mixing side. And then that audio is going to go straight into my Apollo interface, into your ears. I'm just panning my guitar a little bit to the left, the original track's on the right, so that you can kind of hear at the same time what mine and John's guitar sounds like. In one of his other videos, Dave Rett says that he doesn't really EQ the guitars that much. If there's a frequency that he doesn't like, he'll kind of tune that out using the DPR band EQ. But for the most part, he has 3 microphones. I have a photo that I'm going to put up on the screen. You're going to see the Marshall Silver Jubilee mic'd with 1 microphone, the Marshall Major with 2, and the other Jubilee with a single microphone. He goes on in that video saying that he puts a microphone off to the left, the right, and the center of the audio mix. But because I only have a 2-channel XL4 preamp, I can't do that with 2 microphones. So I just have the Marshall Major kind of in the middle between the left and center, and the Jubilee a little bit more to the left. Now, the songs that I'm going to be playing are Sir Psycho Sexy, Scar Tissue, and Parallel Universe. I wanted to play a song that would showcase the WH-10. It's one of my favorite performances of that song. And of course, I just got the brand new Oswald Telly, and I'll be using that. And on that note, I did change the pickups in my Fender Stratocaster from the Seymour Duncan SSL1 pickups. Those were the pickups that John believed were in the Stratocaster during the Californication tour after he bought the guitar from Guitar Center thanks to Anthony. But Dave Lee, his guitar tech, states that he had installed Fender standard Stratocaster pickups, and after looking at so many reverb listings with some people with their pick guards looking up, where you could see the bottom of the Stratocaster pickup, I believe that that model stamped with the number 016730 is Fender's standard Stratocaster pickups. And if you want to have the same sort of tone, that's what I would recommend. I was also playing a little bit with the Boss FZ-3. I wanted to see where he kind of used the Big Muff or the Boss DS2 for his solo leads. For Scar Tissue, I believe it's the Boss DS2. The fuzz pedal just kind of has a more hollow sound, which is more perfect for Parallel Universe during the chorus, but it'd probably be a lot closer if I did have that Russian Big Muff, but I just can't find one for a decent price.
You
Alright everybody, I'm filming the outro right now. There's a couple bands practicing outside, so it's kind of loud in the background. I apologize, but please bear with me. How did you like my tone? I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's probably the closest I've ever gotten so far in any of my videos. I had to definitely spend a lot of time dialing the amps, my CE1, the guitars, just so I can get the right amount of volume, gain, compression. Because early on I was coming into a problem where I was pushing the CE1 and the amplifiers a little bit too much, and I was getting just this like overwhelmingly like crunchy tone that just didn't feel right. And the speakers are right next to me, so it's really loud in this room, so I do wear ear protection, so it kind of muffles a lot of the tone, and I kind of have to go back and forth with listening to what I've heard live while I'm playing, and then on my computer with the audio playing it back, doing little tweaks here and there. So that took a lot of time to get it just right. I could probably throw a little bit of a segment of like my original tone first or Psycho Sexy so you can hear what I'm talking about. But this is going to be one of those segments I'll be doing on this channel, is trying to recreate the live tones from live performances. Usually when I play along to a song, it's never to the studio album recording, but to the live performance. And it's probably why I started doing this YouTube channel, because that's how I like to play if I'm playing back to like a backing track. But the live tones are going to be its own sort of segment because there's just a lot of information to cover. Audio mixing stuff out of the way because it's very important, and I felt like it deserved its own video because Dave Rat was there with them for the Californication, the By the Way, and the Stadium Arcadium tours, and was even with the Red Hot Chili Peppers for the I'm With You and the Getaway album tour. I know for the Unlimited Love tour, they had to hire a different company because Dave Rat is on tour with Maroon 5, I believe, and they're doing all analog also, but the gear is completely different. You can see the videos online if you're interested. And yeah, I still gotta cover all of John's different pedal boards. I feel like the Falcon needs its own video because it starts with the Silverface Showman and then moves into the Jubilee for the By the Way era, and I only have a regular Showman, not a dual Showman. But yeah, I'll probably get back to doing original recreational tone videos, and I'll probably throw like a live one here or there when I do get the time to make these. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys again next time.